Colorado's news leader. This is 9 News at 10.
There is nothing conservative about this administration running up the debt and deficit of our nation as far as the eye can see.
John Kerry blasts President Bush's policies during a profitable day of campaigning in Colorado. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Bob Kendrick.
I'm Adele Arakawa. $2 million. That's the amount of money John Kerry raised during his visit. Colorado campaign spokesman Steve Harrow says Kerry raised $500,000 during a fundraiser in Aspen this morning and another $1.4 million in Denver tonight. 9 News reporter Paul Johnson was there. Paul?
Adele, Kerry told attendees tonight this will be the most important election of their lifetime. At a rally today in Denver, Kerry said he would change administration policy on things like stem cell research and global warming. He also said he'd been endorsed by 48 Nobel Prize-winning scientists. Tonight, he laid out a broad vision of himself as a free enterprise Democrat and criticized Bush over the war in Iraq and for supporting tax cuts for the rich while the deficit continues to grow.
The average American is working harder than ever before, some of them 2 or 3 jobs, and their health care prices are up 50%, their gasoline prices are up 41%, their tuitions for college are up 35%, and the only thing this president can think about fighting for is a tax cut that makes permanent the break for the wealthiest people at the expense of all those things.
But Republicans were quick to offer up a response today with Terry Holt from the Bush-Cheney campaign.
The president's appeal in Colorado and around the Southwest to independent voters is really an appeal based on education reform, on a healthy forest initiative, on making the economy stronger by creating jobs and getting incomes up so that people have a higher quality of life.
Several dozen protesters were in front of the Weston Tabor Center to greet Kerry's supporters. They took particular issue with the idea that Kerry is the favorite candidate of the scientific community. Adele?
Paul Johnson. Thanks, Paul. It looks as though voters will decide whether to pay to expand mass transit in Denver. The Fast Track's mass transit proposal is RTD's plan to expand the bus network, build at least 6 new light rail lines, and extend existing lines. Today, the Fast Track's campaign announced it has collected 60,000 signatures on petitions to get the issue on the ballot. That's more than 26,000 more than required. The plan would cost $4.7 billion. The ballot initiative will ask voters to increase the RTD sales tax from 0.6% to 1% to pay for the expansion. Tomorrow, the Fast Track's campaign will turn its petitions over to the Secretary of State's office.
After a day of almost non-stop rain, the wet weather system is moving out of our area now, but not before causing some very wet driving conditions today. Drivers encountered their share of street flooding, too. Most negotiated it without a problem. No major accidents to report to you. Kathy Sabin's in the Weather Center tonight. Kathy, kind of hard to love it when you're watching it through the wipers, but this wet weather's been a big help.
Considering our drought situation, Bob, that's exactly right. 8 days of measurable precipitation. Yeah, it's the first day of summer, but even though temperatures were cooler than average, many areas picked up at least a ½ an inch of precipitation today. HD Doppler 9 indicating most of the activity has in fact wound down as the storm system is beginning to pull out of southeastern Colorado. The watches and warnings have expired, but still some isolated showers in the forecast tonight. In terms of precipitation at the official weather station out at DIA, picked up 0.48 inches. That's above average. We are also above average in terms of precipitation for the month-to-date numbers, almost 1.5 inches at the airport. The year-to-date, we're still down about 2.5 inches of precipitation, and last year at this time, we had over 11 inches of precip. So yes, it's been a wet month, but not as wet as last year. In terms of temperature, today our high at 56 was well below average. Last year at this time, we saw temperatures in the low 80s, and that's where we should be. And it looks like, Bob, we will see temperatures back in the summer-like 80s by the middle of the week. We could use some more rain. We've got that in the extended forecast, too. I'll have all that coming up in our weather segment.
Great, Kathy. See you soon. Now, we may find out tomorrow whether wet weather was a factor in a car crash that killed 4 people on Friday night, 3 of them students at Ponderosa High School. The Douglas County Sheriff's Department is preparing to release their preliminary findings on the cause of the crash. Investigators were still doing interviews and reconstructing the accident today. The Sheriff's Department hasn't officially identified all of the victims, but family and friends have confirmed that they are 17-year-old Michael Budge, 16-year-old Tony Majestic, 16-year-old Sean Student, and 77-year-old Marvin Mike Gilchrist. 16-year-old Todd Stansfield was the sole survivor of the crash. He remains in critical condition at Littleton Hospital.
A city councilman from Inglewood convicted of running a chop shop is stepping down. Michael Yurchik officially resigned tonight. He was convicted last week of buying stolen cars and dismantling them at his salvage yard. He will be sentenced in August. Yurchik's resignation leaves one of the council's at-large seats vacant. Read more about plans to fill it in tomorrow's Denver Post. We may know tomorrow when Kobe Bryant will stand trial. The NBA star was back in Eagle today for more pretrial hearings in his case. He is accused of rape. Bryant says the sex was consensual. Attorneys spent most of the day talking about what questions potential jurors would be asked. They include everything from where they were born to their opinions on interracial dating. Legal experts believe a trial date could be set as early as tomorrow. Both sides say they could be ready for trial by late August.
A pretrial hearing today in Iraq for 3 soldiers accused of abusing prisoners at Abu Ghraib prison. Defense attorneys say that their clients were just following orders. And now a military judge has given lawyers for 2 of the defendants permission to question top U.S. generals ahead of the trial. The judge also ordered the prison preserved as a crime scene. A few weeks ago, President Bush said that if the Iraqis approved, it would be torn down.
I don't know if they were certainly behind the killing of these 4 soldiers, but the spirit, the strategy, the sentiment is the same.
A coalition spokesman is blaming the deaths of 4 Marines on supporters of Iraq's top militant Abu Musab al-Zarqawi. Their bodies were found in Ramadi after their unit failed to report to their commanders. And still no word on the South Korean hostage held by captors in Iraq. He'd been threatened with death unless South Korea pulls its forces from the country. The deadline has now since passed. And oil exports have resumed 6 days after attacks on one of Iraq's key oil pipelines. Industry traders say that halting the exports cost Iraq about $65 million in lost oil revenue per day.
Despite more fears about more disruptions in the Middle East, gas prices are actually coming down. The nationwide average for a gallon of gas fell to just under $1.94 this week. It's about $1.95 in Colorado. The decline puts prices at their lowest level since May 3rd. Still, they're about 44 cents higher than they were this time last year.
They say the dog attack lasted for 30 minutes. A grandma and grandpa in Aurora tried to fight off 2 dogs to save their grandson, and this happened last night. Tonight, the Riveras are talking about it for the first time. 9 News reporter Cheryl Preheim is here now. Cheryl, the injuries here are just terrible.
Oh, really unbelievable. Mary Rivera, for example, has 30 puncture wounds from the dog's teeth. The family had taken in 2 stray dogs just for the weekend. Police think they were pit bull mixes. The Riveras think one may have been a bull mastiff. The plan was to take them to a shelter first thing this morning, but last night they attacked.
Every little move hurts Leonard Rivera and his wife.
Every time I closed my eyes, I feel this dog.
Dozens of bites have bruised and pierced their bodies.
Real sore.
Mary didn't want to show her face on camera, but wanted to share her story. Her grandson Terrell is 6. He was playing on this swing when 2 stray dogs the family took in just for the weekend started biting at him.
I said, he looks like he's trying to hurt the baby.
When Mary yelled out the window, one of the dogs charged and broke through the glass.
I went to grab Terrell.
When she put Terrell up on this box out of the dog's reach, one of them attacked her.
When he would pick me up in the air and slam me, I was like, and I kept thinking, Terrell, what would he do to Terrell?
Then I seen a dog just take her down.
Leonard Rivera grabbed a shovel and ran over to help.
So I'm over here fighting him just like this, back and forth, trying to, you know, do something to keep him away from my wife and away from my grandson.
And you can see the bite marks right there. The scratches right here. It's the only thing that saved my dad. It was just the most terrifying thing I think I've ever seen. I didn't know what to do, just go get help.
Leanne Rivera ran to get a neighbor. He came and fought the dogs off with a stepladder until police arrived and shot them. The Riveras say they'd go through this pain again to save Terrell.
I know he would kill my grandson. He would have definitely killed my grandson.
The family says they are very grateful to the Aurora police and to their neighbor. They say they wouldn't have survived that dog attack without them, Bob.
Thank goodness for them is right, Cheryl.
That's right.
Thank you.
146 dogs were taken from a home in Los Animas County. The couple who had the dogs faces animal cruelty charges. The animals are being cared for at the Denver Dumb Friends League. Animal control officers say the dogs were living in deplorable conditions. Many had gone for so long without food, they had started turning on each other.
They didn't have any food. A lot of them didn't have water. Some didn't have shelters. The water that was out there for some of the dogs was really dirty.
Most of the dogs will not be available for adoption for about a week, but many of the puppies may be ready by this Friday. Contact the Denver Dumb Friends League if you're interested.
Still ahead on 9 News at 10.
When he was struck, his heart stopped.
A lightning strike at a weekend festival nearly took her husband's life. Hear how the family's doing now.
Some areas see rain, some snow on the first day of summer. I'll have your Tuesday forecast.
And in sports, Larry Walker is finally back in the lineup. We'll hear from the Rockies coming up.
And what Consumer Reports says you need to know before heading out on your next bike ride.
All that and more when 9 News at 10 continues. You're watching 9 News with Adele Arakawa, Bob Kendrick, Kathy Sabin, and Ryan Chiaverini on KUSA. Colorado's first and only local news presented in high definition.
The average driver spends a mere 1% of the time in reverse. Yet considering what's at stake, that's 1% we didn't want to ignore. The backup camera, available in the Lexus RX 330. At Stevenson Lexus and Cooney Lexus.
If you have a news tip, tell us about it. Go to 9news.com and press the 9 News tip button, or call us at 303-871-9100.
Coors Light and 9 News bring you late night down cold.
Tonight, Jay's all new with Keira Knightley and NBC News legal expert Dan Abrams. Plus, a special outdoor concert with Avril Lavigne and headlines.
Get in shape for your wedding. Who are you marrying, Bobby Brown? What is that?
And tomorrow, Jay's got the designer and the pilot of the world's first homemade spaceship, followed by Conan tonight.
Coors Light is a proud local sponsor of 9 News Late Night, so tune in and unleash the Rocky Mountain cold taste of Coors Light.
Introducing the Rocky Mountain Edition Jeep 4x4s. With their special new look, unique wheels, and stylish interiors, you'll go out of your way to keep them clean. But hurry, because they're only available for a limited time. Check out the Rocky Mountain Edition Jeep 4x4s during June bonus days, or now qualified returning Daimler Chrysler lessees can lease a Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo for only $299 a month.
TJ, my salad came with an onion ring.
Ooh!
Yeah, it's pretty great, huh?
I think Jessica was a little sweet on you.
No, what, the car hop?
Yeah, I would follow up on this.
I don't know, you know.
You gotta talk to her. Let's play it smooth. Hi, I like you too!
Fresh taste salads, new at Sonic. Try our grilled chicken, popcorn chicken, or Santa Fe grilled chicken salad, made fresh with Hidden Valley dressings. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
The Medical Center of Aurora is hosting a career fair Wednesday, June 23rd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Nurses can get a $15,000 signing bonus. For directions, call the Medical Center of Aurora at 303-695-2709 or visit auroramed.com. Greeley's 2004 Rocky Mountain Stampede, June 24th to July 4th at Island Grove Regional Park in Greeley. Carnival rides, daily parades, with the big Independence Day Parade on July 3rd and fireworks on the 4th. Country music and rock and roll legends. And the top bull riders in the world compete in the Extreme Bull Tour. Get your tickets at the box office, at Tickets West and Any King Supers, or go to 9news.com and click on the Rocky Mountain Stampede icon. Catch Greeley's 2004 Rocky Mountain Stampede.
Can good looks be versatile? Can fun have 4 doors? Can a sedan be loaded with personality and be affordable? Yes. Chrysler PT Cruiser Sedan. Now during June bonus days, get an additional $1,000 for a combined cash allowance of $4,000 on PT Cruiser for qualified buyers who finance through Chrysler Financial. Plus, get our 770 powertrain limited warranty. Get to your Chrysler dealer today. Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard.
Denver is gearing up for another campaign to encourage alternate modes of transportation. Wednesday is Bike to Work Day. Each year, though, more than 60,000 bicycle riders wind up in emergency rooms with head injuries. 9 News anchor Gary Shapiro knows firsthand how wearing a helmet can make all the difference. He credits his life. He had one on and saved him when he had a serious bike accident last month. Consumer Reports recently tested helmets for bike riders of all ages. 9 News consumer reporter Mark Kobrick now looks at the results.
Anthony Sikorsky wears a helmet whenever he bicycles, and he insists that anyone who rides with him does too.
You got to protect your head. You know, your head is probably the most vulnerable part of your body.
Consumer Reports just tested dozens of bike helmets for both children and adults. This device checks how well a helmet protects you if you hit your head in an accident. All the helmets passed the impact test, but some problems turned up during a second test that Maurice Wynn uses to check the strength of the straps and buckles. Here's how the test works.
We raise this weight a fixed distance, and then we drop it. And when we do, it yanks on the strap and buckle system.
Here's the test in action. This strap and buckle did fine. The straps didn't stretch and the buckle stayed intact, so the helmet passed. But several other helmets failed the stress test.
We ran the test with 12 of these toddler helmets. With 4 of the helmets, the buckle broke. If that were to happen in an accident, the helmet could come off your child's head.
Consumer Reports does not recommend the Trek Little Dipper. Also not recommended 2 adult helmets that had problems in the same test. They are the Specialized Telluride, as well as this one from Bell, the Influx. But Consumer Reports found plenty of good helmets. For adults, the $45 Louis Garneau Zinn is top rated. For children, a good choice is this $30 helmet, the Specialized Airwave Mega. And for toddlers, the top choice is the Bell Boomerang, which also costs $30. Then do what Anthony does and make sure the helmet fits snugly. That's the key to preventing injuries.
Good boy.
On the Consumer Beat, Mark Kobrick, 9 News.
If you're in a bike accident and you hit your head, Consumer Reports says you should replace your helmet. The manufacturers typically recommend that as well. And don't forget to let the manufacturer know, because many companies will offer a discount on a replacement helmet if you've been in an accident.
So, Kathy, we're going to have nice bike weather tomorrow.
You know, it will be better tomorrow and even better for Bike to Work Day on Wednesday.
Good. There you go. Good
I
timing.
know, and good golfing weather at Del, too.
Okay. I hear you.
Planning. Some beneficial rainfall for the past 8 days. Many areas in the past 7 to 8 days picking up almost 2 inches of rainfall. Now, these amounts are just in the past 24 hours alone, because you know how heavy that rain was falling late last night and again today. So I grabbed a handful of totals around the area. Denver about a ½ an inch. Broomfield doing pretty well. Littleton almost 3/4 of an inch. Some other totals around the area. Again, many areas right about the ½ inch mark, but in the past 7 to 8 days, almost 2. And this is definitely going to put a dent in the drought, but the drought is not over, folks. Let me show you what's going on as we take the day as it was, with a cloudy gray sky out there and some much needed precipitation. Tough to drive in, but welcome for this time of year, because we're going to start to move into a warmer and drier pattern for the middle of this week. Interesting cloud layers out there, and by about the time you headed home, the pavement was dry. Up in the high country, reports of snow above 9,000 feet this afternoon, and a few leftover snow showers up there tonight as well. Severe thunderstorms rumbled from Pueblo to Lamar out toward Springfield tonight, where severe thunderstorm watches, a tornado watch out till about 8 o'clock. Most of the activity has died down now. The showers have ended in the city. There's one cell that's popped up north of Boulder, and it'll probably produce some more lightning. A lot of lightning strikes across central and southern sections of our state today, but things have really calmed down. It was a cold day today, with temperatures 20 to 30 degrees colder than average, and right now the warmest readings are along the western slope. A spectacular sunset. Finally, some sun to capture on our sunset time lapse, with a mix of layers of clouds out there tonight. I just thought that was a beautiful view. And I don't need the umbrella for once in the 9 News backyard, as we have fair skies and it is a little chilly out here. As a look at the numbers for today, the first full day of summer will start to lose a little bit of daylight each day now as we progress into this new season. 48 the overnight low, 56 the official high. An average high would be 84, so you can see how cool that is. At the airport, the official weather station reporting to us 50 degrees. High humidity, the pressure right now on the rise, and a light southwest wind flow. Watch out for patchy dense fog forming overnight if you're doing some driving. In the backyard, 48 degrees, 52 at Broomfield, La Junta with 52, and Telluride reporting 54 degrees. Across the west, high pressure will attempt to rebuild over the area in the wake of this next weather disturbance, which continues its path out of southeastern Colorado tonight. Severe weather will be a problem in Nebraska and Kansas for folks traveling eastbound found on I-70 this evening. But tomorrow should be a much different day around our area. Enough moisture for a few late-day thunder showers, and you'll have some fog to deal with in the morning, but you will have some sunshine and warmer temperatures as well. As we look at the map, we're going to see some powerful storms form along this frontal boundary in the south. We're kind of sandwiched in between two systems, but I think high pressure will keep this one away, bringing only isolated to widely scattered thunder showers across the eastern plains tomorrow, and then a really dry day for us on Wednesday. Temperatures starting to warm tomorrow. A heat wave around Phoenix and Las Vegas, triple digits there. Minneapolis and Chicago in the mid-70s tomorrow. It's going to be a cool night tonight with clearing skies. A few showers still possible to the north and west of the city. Temperatures will fall into the 30s over the higher terrain. Tomorrow we'll see mid-70s and 80s across the eastern plains. 70s for Aspen, Vail, Gunnison, Meeker, Crested Butte. Warm out west, and then around the city tomorrow. A warmer day, but keep the umbrella around late in the day just to be safe. Forecast details for the rest of this evening. We are calling for partly cloudy skies, a few isolated showers, and then some patchy fog to deal with late. Denver's low 46. That fog will be a problem for the morning drive for some areas. Then the sun will come out. Mid-70s tomorrow, still below average. Afternoon thunder showers are likely. Wednesday could be the pick day of the week. Warm and relatively dry, and then another front due in Thursday afternoon will bring a good chance of showers and storms Thursday night into Friday and keep temperatures below average as we head into next weekend. And Adele and Bob, who isn't already thinking about next weekend?
Yeah, alrighty. Well, it is all right. It's Tuesday now, you know, Kath. Thanks.
Okay. One of the people injured by a lightning strike during a weekend festival should fully recover. 19 people were hurt on Saturday in Kremlin when lightning struck them during a town festival. Doctors say 29-year-old Gary Almgren was struck in the back of the head by the bolt. It then jumped to the others standing around him. He was with a group of people hitting golf balls off the cliffs north of town as part of a festival competition. Almgren's wife says his heart stopped. A nurse performed CPR for 10 minutes. They also had to use a defibrillator, and he was put into a drug-induced coma. He is now alert and talking.
He knows what happened, but he forgets. His short-term memory's kind of shot right now, but it will come back, they said. It's not a permanent thing.
Almgren and 3 others had to be airlifted to a hospital in Denver. Of those, we know 2 have been released, and Almgren should be able to leave the hospital in a couple of days.
I'm Ryan Cheverini. Coming up next in sports, Sean Chacon addresses his own frustrations this year. Plus, forget about Shaq. The league's leading scorer is on the move. I'll tell you where he's headed next.
9 Weather is brought to you by United.
Where you go in life is up to you. There's one airline that can take you there, United. It's time to fly.
Hi, I'm Kyle Dyer. Coming up in the morning, we're going to take on an issue that can be very difficult for adult children, and that is having the conversation with their parents about when it's no longer safe for them to drive. We'll have some advice on how to handle it best. We'll see you at 5 and 6, so join us in the morning.
This is the sound of hail hitting a car. This is the sound of hail hitting all the cars at Stevenson. The hailstorm that hit us means you hit the jackpot with huge savings during Stevenson's Hail of a Sale. Get a hail of a deal on every new and used vehicle on our lots. Save hundreds, even thousands. So turn a little into some big. Stevenson's Hail of a Sale. Going on now at all our West Side dealerships.
Hey, Larry, this DirecTV service, it's like watching TV at home, right?
Yep, you even get your own TV and remote control.
And being that 56% of Americans watch TV in their underwear...
Oh, no.
Why don't we let our passengers watch TV in their underwear? You got a beverage, some chips, you're in your underwear. Can you picture it?
Unfortunately, yes.
airport security?
Yeah.
People won't even have to take their shoes off.
True love, take you to the limit. It's true love, baby, won't you give me la 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 la. I found them at Famous.
Thunderstorms, tornadoes, floods, we alert you to all these weather conditions. But do you know the difference between a watch and a warning? If a weather watch is issued, it means conditions are favorable for a thunderstorm, tornado, or flood to happen. But if a warning is issued, it means severe weather is already happening, and you should take immediate action to protect you and your family.
Severe weather season is here. Make 9 News your source for the most complete weather information. You and 9 News, keeping storm safe in Colorado. 9 News wants to hear from you. Use our phone, fax, and email address or visit our website at www.9news.com. 9 News listens. From Colorado's sports leader, here's Ryan Chiaverini.
You know, it's great that Larry Walker and Preston Wilson are both healthy again and back in the lineup, but it's not going to do much good if this guy doesn't start pitching better. After 7 shutout innings by Joe Kennedy last night, he saw his W go out the window faster than one of J-Lo's marriages. Chacon blowing his 6th save of the year, giving up a grand slam with 2 outs in the 9th. Remember, this guy made the All-Star team last year, but this season as a closer, he's been the furthest thing from it.
Yeah, I'm frustrated. All I can do is go out there and you know, do what I do. As far as, you know, you guys keep telling me, yeah, he's gonna stick with you, he's gonna stick with you. I mean, I know that, you know. The bottom line is I gotta get the job done.
A curveball to end it. This is a result-oriented industry. I've been the first one to say that, and I'll tell you that. But looking at our options, there aren't really answers with our options. So this is something we're going to continue to work on. We're not pulling the plug on it yet, by any means.
Rockies and Brewers tomorrow. Well, big day for the Nuggets on Thursday, the NBA draft. We all remember the magic that Melo brought to this team last year. Of course, he was the 3rd pick. It's going to be a lot tougher this year, picking 20th. But Kiki's been able to make a pretty good move so far, so we'll see how that goes. Speaking of moves, this is a huge one. The league's leading scorer, Tracy McGrady, looks to be headed to Houston. A deal has already been finalized that would send T-Mac and Juwan Howard and Tyrone Lue to the Rockets in exchange for Steve Francis, Katino Mobley, and Kelvin Cato. The deal, however, will only be a go if Charlotte doesn't select one of these guys in tomorrow's expansion draft. T-Mac is off limits for that one. Meanwhile, the Lakers appear to be open to Shaq's trade demands. While the Nuggets have the cap room, they don't have the players to dish out in return, so they're probably out. Right now, it looks like Dallas could be the perfect fit, and they have the owner crazy enough to pull it off, but even he says it's too early to know.
The next question is, have we talked to these other teams? Have we talked to the Lakers? And the answer is no. Will we? Most likely, but you know, we have to ascertain what's real and what's not real. Believe it or not, just because you read it in the press doesn't mean there's a situation truly there.
Is that true? I don't think that's true. Well, it was just like the good old days today for Martina Navratilova. The 9-time Wimbledon champ just decided to come out of retirement and play in her first singles match in a decade. And I'll tell you what, it looked like she had never left. The 47-year-old dismantling her opponent, Catalina Castellano, whose mother is only 3 years older than Martina, and she's showing she's still got game. Winning at 6-0 and 6-1, she becomes the oldest woman to win a singles match at Wimbledon at 82 years. And finally, I know it's tempting, but if you're thinking about streaking at this year's Super Bowl, you might want to rethink that. 39-year-old Mark Francis Roberts wishes he would have. Hey, at least he was fully dressed today in court. He could face 6 months in jail and a $2,000 fine. He was the guy that streaked. He had a referee's uniform on, then he took it off and went into a thong. And
he's 39.
He's 39, yeah. I don't know. He's a British citizen. I don't know if that says anything. I'm not going there.
Don't go there. Don't go there. We'll be right back.
That's right.
The all-new Dodge Durangos making it to the top of a lot of lists. It came in first in a car and driver full-size SUV comparison test. It received 5 stars, the highest government frontal crash test rating. And since it's roomier and more powerful than Explorer or Trailblazer, lots of American families are making Durango their first choice. See your Dodge dealer and put the all-new Durango at the top of your list, too. During June bonus days, qualified lessees can lease a Durango SLT 4x4 for just $359 a month. Oh yeah, and it's got a Hemi.
At Good Times, we know that to your stomach, all ice cream is the same, but your mouth knows better. Your mouth will go out of its way for thick, rich frozen custard. Made fresh every 2 hours with unique flavors of the day. Good Times. Follow your mouth.
The orange is a ball of sunshine. The coconut is very shy. The pineapple is a warrior with a heart of gold. The watermelon rules all fruit. The blueberry is deep and soulful. The raspberry is naughty but nice. The apple is afraid of snakes. Sweet corn always has a kind word. The kiwi was born a star. The joy of produce. Experience it at Safeway.
Should we show Mommy your x-ray?
What's an x-ray?
Picture of your bones.
Katie might find medical technology a little over her head, but at Kaiser Permanente, she sees eye to eye with a doctor who's always cared for her.
See, Katie? No break.
Does Tina need an x-ray?
At Kaiser Permanente, you get to choose a doctor like Tamara Kusek,
I told you she was nice.
whose big heart can make a little child feel very special indeed.
Time waits for no man. Neither do airplanes. I want a little bit of paradise on the fast track.
Get the United Mileage Plus Visa card, only from Bank One.
I want a card where the miles pour in. A mile for every dollar I spend. I want to be on my way to the islands sooner rather than later. Surf's up!
Get 15,000 bonus miles after your first purchase.
I want 15,000 miles now. I don't have time to accrue. What kind of word is accrue? Do you like accruing?
Get the More Miles Every Day card from the Bank One card collection. Apply now.
This summer, every time you come to the Butterfly Pavilion, you can save $1 and help someone else. Bring a non-perishable food donation for 9 Cares Colorado Shares and save $1 off admission to the Butterfly Pavilion.
One huge sale going on now at your Toyota dealer. The just-announced region-wide tent event with thousands of Toyotas to choose from. Right now, get unbeatable 0% financing on Toyota's most popular models like Corolla, Matrix, Solara, Camry, Highlander, 4Runner, Tacoma, Tundra, and even on Tundra Double Cab. Or choose great customer cash or low lease rates. Hurry, this tent event at your Toyota dealer featuring 0% financing is on now.
Showers are ending across the metro area. Much needed rain, but we'll get a much needed break as well. Patchy fog overnight, lows in the 40s. Tomorrow, the fog will stick around for the morning drive, then partly cloudy conditions for the afternoon, highs in the 70s. Wednesday, the pick day of the week for outdoor activities, and more showers moving in Thursday afternoon.
Okay, thanks, Gav. He likes to watch television, so zookeepers are hoping a gorilla will learn a thing or two from a new videotape. It's one of those videotapes. You see, 21-year-old Casey the gorilla has lost a little of his va-va-voom. He was brought in to help female gorillas to become with child, but it seems he spent too many years living with male gorillas, and now his keepers think that Casey's intimidated by women. So he has this video now to watch. By all accounts, he doesn't seem very interested in it just yet. Can't promise we'll be updating that story.
Thanks for that, Bob. This would probably be a good thing that we aren't, too.
It's in Minnesota that's happening.
We'll update on 90s at 5 and 6 tomorrow morning. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.
Good night.
9 News can also be seen Monday through Friday at 10:30 p.m. on PAX TV, Channel 59, Channel 17 on cable. News, where news comes first.